All right, let's give the other stream just a second here to get caught up. Should be live here just right now. Should be live now on both platforms. Um, we got about 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes left in the day here, so we will see what the closing numbers are. We will be going over the market and today's plays as we typically do. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Good afternoon. This is Ifan from the Strategic Day Trader. This is your market wrap for September 13th, 2021. Hope everyone had a nice weekend, ready for another week here. All right, Q's down 0.13, was down a little bit more here. Got the daily pullback. Hourly, you can see we got a little bit extended away now and getting the bounce. SPY, very similar. We had that SPY downtrend. That's why we came into today bullish, or sorry, not bullish, bearish on the Qs and SPY, and then the IWM as well. I was going with the Qs a little bit more neutral than the other two, all right, because I thought that the Qs hourly kind of was holding up the best. Didn't look higher, but a little bit less bearish than the other two. The downtrend in the SPY and the IWM was a little bit more clear. Okay, so we were bearish coming into today. I think today's gap up did kind of make things a little bit harder to tell. So if you were with me this morning, we were trading the open. This gap up, in the morning, we were gapping up all the way to here, right? And the tough thing was that I had said that if we clear the pivot, then I'll be bullish. So we needed to get over 449.38. But we were gapping up pretty close, at least most of the way there, and had been clearing this red bar. That's the closing bell. So I decided to go with a little bit more neutral this morning because we had the gap up. And so what we wanted to see was it shock value versus resistance, who's going to win out. Okay, so it ended up, the SPY ended up getting sold initially there, Qs as well. So they kind of gapped up, lost the gap, but now into the afternoon, kind of putting in a little bit of support here. Okay, so what does that mean for tomorrow? So for tomorrow, you can see the Qs. We've already got the extension away from the 20 MA. We've already gotten a little bit of the pullback here on the daily, which all the pullbacks lately have been little. Okay, into the rising 20. SPY actually broke below. Now, what we've seen in the past on the SPY here and here, that when it breaks below, maybe a day, maybe two underneath the 20 MA, and then back up. Okay, so we are in the position where we don't really have to figure that out because it's not a good time to start shorts anyway. Okay, we've already moved down into support. Okay, and now we're kind of expecting the bounce. That's what I'm expecting, at least a lower high. Okay, so we're going to need a retracement somewhere into the declining 20 MA, and then if we get a sell set up, that will be the time to be bearish. For right now, right, I'm expecting us that maybe for the next day or two, we got the bottom in just for now, okay, on the Qs and the SPY. So going into tomorrow, okay, still bearish on this hourly downtrend, but not a good time to start new shorts. Okay, so we'll see the bounce, set up a sell setup, declining 20 MA. So probably be tomorrow afternoon sometime. Also corresponds with some minor resistance there. What was support, when it gets broken, becomes resistance. So that'll be a good spot here. And if we're going to initiate shorts, that would be the time. If it does a sell setup and then it fails, that'll be our confirmation that we're moving back up. And that failure of a sell setup will correspond with the daily buy setup. Okay? So, yeah, so we're looking a couple steps ahead already, with the sell setup and then the sell setup failure, and that's what would turn us back to bullish. Okay? Otherwise, going into tomorrow, I think we're bearish on the hourly chart, but going to be waiting to see how we deal with the sell setup that will likely get tomorrow or tomorrow afternoon. Okay? All right, let's go over the plays from today. I started off with the LPTX. I like the shock value of this gap, all these red bars, and then gapping above them. Initially in the pre-market was clearing, so this was a favorite gap for me. on the LPTX. I didn't like how it got sold initially here. Okay, but it looked like it was trying to transition. Ended up playing it right over kind of this whole base here. Okay, so that was the play right there. Put that all together. I think 2 minute looks decent enough for me. Yeah, and triggered, did not work. Okay, on the LPTX. Worked later. James had a really nice mention. You can see it almost is the same thing. It just kind of worked on the next one on a larger time frame there, but doesn't count because I was already out of it. The play didn't work. So yeah, finally got the move later, but I didn't replay it on the LPTX. Okay, but I like that gap. I thought it was a pretty bullish gap. Just would have been better if it had not pulled back so much in the pre-market. And then yeah, I guess it kind of closed here a little bit more neutral. Okay, DVAX, I was trying to get the numbers figured out for this one. This was good. I know some people did catch it. I think probably more people who were interested in playing this caught it than didn't. I did not. I was trying to get, they knew what the entry was, figuring out the stop, and then it just broke. And it was tough. It kind of was hard for me to refocus after that because I, was watching and I was like, okay, if we get another base, if we get a retracement, I'll use that as an entry. So basically, they're saying, I hope we get another chance at it. Maybe it sets up another entry. And I said that, I don't know, for the next 10 minutes until I said, okay, finally, you know what? I give up. It's not going to give us another entry, right? So, I was like, okay, if we base from here, I'm still willing to play it. Okay, maybe we get a little bit of a bounce. You could fall in. I think some people just kind of got it late and were just willing to, take a little bit of a bigger stop because probably like the gap. I mean, the gapping underneath the rising 20, had room. That's why this is outlined here. That's what I was saying. That's where the target is, right? And, we're getting in here at $14.90. Target's $13.90, right? And the stop was only 20 cents. So $1 maybe. So yeah, so, I was watching it. And then I think I was around here. So, all right, I give up, and it's too far gone. It's not going to give us another entry. It's already making new lows. So that was tough. That was a little bit disappointing. And then, yeah, I was really distracting after that because obviously it was working really well. So I'm glad some people did catch this. I was just, I don't know how late, 10 seconds, 5 seconds late, and then in getting the numbers figured out in the order in. So that was a little bit tough because, started off struggling a little bit. LPTX didn't work. Next play I was trying to get in went without me. And then I was able to kind of have a nice play here in the afternoon. There were a couple nice plays this afternoon that if you were able to catch them. Sammy had the CYDY. I called this the SB here. SB was just a breakout coming out of lunch. Okay, here's the base. Nice tight base there. 8-cent stop. Clearing all of this resistance on the daily. Was already at 470 at that point, so we're already cleared of it. And just a 5-minute base breakout over that. We did take half here, live through all of this choppiness here. Okay, so that wasn't fun, but that's fine, whatever. We raised the stop up, never took out the stop. It was already at that, I think by this point here, was already locked in to be a winning play, just wasn't sure how much. And then I also did an ad here. Okay, I was on the mic, so I told you I'm going to go ahead and do an ad here. And then we got the kind of run up to 89. I said when we're moving up here, go ahead and do penny by penny. I think I ended up getting filled at 86. So it would have been nice, 88, 87, because we were supposed to be really, really tight at that point. But I think, based on where I hit it when I saw it start to drop, I got filled at 86. So that's fine. It was 71 by 63, and then the ad was 81 by 69. Okay, so that was nice. Ad helped a little bit. Ad didn't do much, but that was pretty nice. Just a nice intraday chart. Stayed bullish. Relative strength to the Qs and SPY. Qs and SPY were weak most of the day. SB basing at the highs. We talked about this actually on Friday, that when you're bearish on the Qs and SPY, which the Qs and SPY on Friday were saying you don't want to be shorting the things that are really strong, right? This was one of the strongest things out there. Because if anything, if the Qs and SPY bounce, they're going to go even more. And the Qs and SPY have already been getting sold. So, this thing has already told you I'm not coming in, you know? So, these are the kind of things we want to look to play long, not to play short, right? Because they're the ones that typically are going to give you a hard time. They're not going to want to come in when the Qs and SPY are going lower. They already told you that. And then if the Qs and SPY bounce, then they also kind of go even more. Okay? So that was the play. So, it kind of, this kind of stuff happens. You miss out on a play. You don't always necessarily get another play to take right away. Sometimes you have to be patient, and maybe it's possible that, it wasn't going to even be today. Maybe I have to wait till tomorrow to get a nice high quality play to take. So, it's tough. And, being on the mic and being a little bit bothered or annoyed or whatever about missing out, is its own challenge. But I think it's happened enough where when the DVACs happened, I couldn't catch it. I didn't just jump into anything that was moving or anything that had some kind of bias or clear direction to it. So that's always tough, and that's just how it is trading. Sometimes it just doesn't go on your time. It's gonna go when it wants to go. So glad we're able to kind of still have a nice day today. Start off a little bit rocky, but not too bad. Okay. All right. Hope you did well today. We'll be back at it tomorrow, and I will talk to you then. Have a good evening.